Hello everyone, let's have some practice with the strings, array of characters and random numbers in Java. We will see how to shuffle a string also. For that, we'll be working with password generator. We'll write a function to randomly generate complex passwords. So I have already created a class password generators with some static final fields. We have a string of all uppercase letters, lowercase letters, numbers, and some special characters. I have also combined all of them and stored them in this string variable of all characters. So the name of the variable is all characters. We want to generate a complex random password of mix of all these uppercase, lowercase numbers, and special characters. So let's write a function for that. Public static that returns a string or a password. Let's call it generate password. Let's also take a password length from the user. And let's call it len or length. Say we want to generate passwords of length greater than 6 or less than length 25, for example. First we'll check if length is less than 6. We don't want to create weak passwords. Or length is greater than 25. We want to throw an exception. Let's throw new illegal argument exception with a message like password length should be between 6 and 25. Once we got a correct length, so we are going to randomly select a character from this string and build our password. For that, we will be using a string builder object. A string builder object, since it's mutable and we can update the object of a string builder. So let's call it password equal to new string builder of size, let's say length. So what we are going to do, we will loop from 0 to length and randomly select a character. To generate a random index for this string, we can use the random class in Java to work with random numbers. So let's for the moment return something from this method. Let's return password. It's a string builder and change it to a string. So we have random class. Let's call the object random equal to new random. It has some methods that we can generate random numbers. Say we want to generate integer random numbers, we can call the next int, which takes an integer or boundary. It's going to generate random numbers from 0 up to boundary -1. So boundary is excluded, not included. So let's say we want to call this next int and let's say 6. So it's going to generate random numbers from 0 to 5 and 6 is excluded. We got 3. Let's run it again. We got 3 again. We got 1 and we got 3. This time we got 5. So it generates random numbers from 0 to 5 or boundary -1. So this way we can randomly generate an index and select a character from this string. So let's loop through here for int I equal to 0, I less than length, then I plus plus. We wanna randomly select a character from all characters. Say all chars dot char at and it takes an index. So for that we randomly generate an index. Let's here generate an index int random index equal to, also we need to create an object of random class here, random, let's call it random equal to new random. random dot next, and we pass a boundary. We are going to pass the boundary the length of this all characters. So all characters dot length. So it's going to generate a random number from 0 to length -1 because this length is excluded. And we can pass this random index here. It's going to return a character. Let's catch it. Call it random character equal to allchars dot random at of random index. Once we got a random character, we are going to append it to our string builder. Password dot append random character, and finally we return it as a string. So let's go to main and let's print that. It's called the function system out. Password generator, we have a static method generate password. Let's say we want to generate a password of size 20. We have successfully generated a random password. Let's run it again. We got a different password. Let's run it again. We got a different password. But it's not guaranteed that we will always have a mix of all of them. Say we want, if the requirement is that our passwords should have at least one uppercase letter, at least one lowercase letter, at least one digit, and one special character. So this random doesn't guarantee that we always gonna get one uppercase or one lowercase or one digit. To guarantee that, before the for loop, we are going to manually add one random character from each of them to our password. Where is here before the for loop? So let's say I'll say password dot append. We wanna first make sure that we have at least one uppercase letter. So I will say uppercase dot char at random dot next end uppercase dot length. So it's going to randomly select at least one character from this uppercase letters and append it to our password. We're going to do it for the lowercase, the numbers, and the special characters. So let's change that to lowercase. We are going to select a lowercase letter from this random range or index, and let's do the same for digits. Control V, and also special characters. So this way it makes sure that our password will always have at least one character of each of these sets. So right now we have appended 4 characters in our password. So we are going to start from our loop from 4. This will append an uppercase to the 0th index, 1 index, 2 index, and 3rd index. And we start from 4 and keep appending the other random letters. So let's run our code. We always get an uppercase, a lowercase, a number, and a special character. Let's run it again. Uppercase, lowercase, number, and a special character. So to shuffle this, we don't want this pattern always. Like if we run it 100 times, we always get the first 4 letter as uppercase, lowercase, number, and a special character. So before returning the string here, let's shuffle this password and return that. So for that, I will create a private method, let's call it static, that returns a string. Let's call it shuffle password, that takes a string. Let's call it password. So to shuffle a string, first we are going to change this string to array of characters. Let's say character array. Let's call it chars equal to password dot toString, or 2 array characters. Once we got an array of characters, so we can shuffle that. let's say we have this string computer, we will get an array of characters, then we can shuffle that. What we are going to do, we will start traversing over this array of characters from the end. We'll have a I pointer here and we go all the way to the beginning of the array. So what we will do, once we got a pointer here, we will generate a random number from this range from 0 to 6, and then we will swap this character with the randomly generated index. For example, say we randomly generated an index here. Let's say we got 3. We will swap the character at index 3 with the character at index I. So what we will do, we will swap 3, which is P, with R. So let's swap P. P comes here, R goes here. Then we will decrement our I pointer. I becomes here. Then again, we will generate a random number between this range, a random index. Say this time we generated 1. So we are going to swap the character at random at index 1 with the character at index I. So we will swap O with E. O becomes here and E becomes here. So this way we keep looping and decrement our I, and we will generate random numbers between these indexes, and we swap the characters. So let's loop through the characters of this array in reverse order for int I equal to chars.length -1, I greater than or equal to 0, or we can go up to second element and swap it with the first element. I minus minus, we decrement our pointer. Then each time we are going to generate a random index between 0 to I. So for that, let's call it int j equal to random. So we don't have access to random object here. Either we can create a random object inside this shuffle password method, or we can pass it as an argument here. Let's pass it random. Since we have already created a random object here, we can pass the reference of that. Random.next int between 0 to I plus 1, because if we give I, it's I will not be included, so we give I plus 1. Once we got a random index, we are going to swap the character at ith index with the jet index. So we can do that character, let's call it temp equal to character at I index. Then we will change character at I index with character at j index. Then finally we will assign this temp value to character at j. Chars at j equal to temp. Then finally we are going to return a string of these characters. Let's generate a string object, return new string of characters. And here, before we return the password, we will shuffle that and return it. Shuffle password, password.toString, and we return that. We also need to password the random object. So let's rerun the program. This time we don't always have that pattern in our first four characters. We have different patterns. So this way we can generate a complex password of a certain length with guarantee that we always will have at least one character of these sets, one uppercase, one lowercase, one digit, one special character, by using this lines of codes. And we have also learned how to shuffle a string. So thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.